Right here, my opponent played the move knight h7, trying to smother checkmate my king using the help of the pawn because I'm trapped by my own pieces. And what if I told you this was only the beginning of an insane amount of checkmate threats? This game, I felt like I was a dartboard and my opponent is throwing these checkmate darts at me, like checkmate, checkmate, and I'm like dodging these checkmates the whole game. I can't even believe some of the stuff that happens. I can't even believe, like, this is not even the most interesting part of this game. You have to see it. You just have to see it. Like I can't even believe this game happened. It was like the whole game. My opponent was like, "I'm going to checkmate you. I don't care how. I'm just going to checkmate you." I played the French. All I wanted to do, look, guys, look. All I wanted to do was play this simple system where I bring my bishop over here and I trade it off. That's all I'm trying to do. And from move like 4, they start trying to stop. Look at this. Queen b3. It's not the best move, but it stops my plan. I can't go there and trade the bishop because they just take it and win a pawn. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen this before. I'm like, it's move 5 and I don't know what to do. Then I had a nice idea and I played knight c6. You know why I played knight c6, right? Because if they take the pawn, pause the video. What's the move? It's knight to a5 and it traps the queen. Nope. 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 You can't go backwards. You're under attack. You can't go here. The queen's defending here. The rook's defending here. This is defended and this is defended. It's a queen trap. Everything is trapped. That's amazing, right? Okay, I thought it was pretty clever. Of course, my opponent didn't fall for it. Plays knight f3. I went here. I'm trying to make the queen move so I can put my bishop there and get rid of the bishop, right? Which is the whole point. Finally, I'm like, I breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, great. I get to trade off that bad bishop. And I thought I was happy, and then I realized something. When you play the French, you need to play c5. When they push e5, you need to play c5 to put pressure on their center. But I said to myself, Nelson, I can't play c5 because they just take it. And if I take back, they fork me. What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. But this knight is not supposed to be on a5. So I'm like, okay, let's just move it. Wait a second. If I move it, then I can't play c5 because my knight's blocking it. If I go here, they're going to chase me away. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So I'm already confused. And when you're confused in chess, usually you don't make good decisions. So I played b5 because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I can't play c5. I'll play b5. I don't exactly know why. I just was thinking maybe I bring my knight back and then try to play c5. My opponent plays a4. I go back. b4. Super annoying move. They're just shutting me down. I can't play c5. I'm like, this is really annoying. I played c6. Why? Again, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm feeling already kind of squeezed. We're only on like move 11 and I'm already squeezed. Trust me, guys. We're just getting started here. They play h4. I played f6. You have to try to break it to center somehow, so I'm trying. They go knight g3. I played f5. I just said you have to break it to center, and then I lock it up. I was afraid. I'm going to be honest with you. I was afraid. They have a lead in development. I'm like not developed. I'm like, if I break it open, is that really what I want to do? So I kind of changed my mind. And one thing, you know, if I played f5 right away, they could en passant, right? So by going f6 and then f5, they don't have en passant as an option, so I could at least do that. Okay, fine. Knight h5. I'm like, what is my opponent doing? Like, this is defended. Like, I'm just going to chase the knight away. Like, what are you doing? They go here. And now I realize what they're doing. This is a huge weakness. They're going to go knight g5. They're going to double attack this. So even if I defend it somehow, they're coming in. I'm like, uh-oh, Nelson. It's not looking good. And then I realized something. I have this knight over here. They can go to d8 and defend. So I said to myself, okay, let's go queen c8. And when they attack me again, I'll go knight d8. Now, of course, they can trade here. I'm not going to take back this way because then my queen has to leave. But I could at least take back this way and, you know, we get some pressure. Maybe it's not the end of the world. And I said to myself, good, I'm surviving. Next move, I'm going to go h6. I'm going to chase their knight away and I'm going to have a fine game. At least that's what I thought. But no, my opponent had other plans. h5. I'm like, whoa, that's a move. And look at this line, guys. Look at this. I said to myself, I'm going to go bishop h6, and I'm going to take the knight. No, I'm not, because g7 and my opponent is getting a queen and taking my rook at the same time. So I'm like, whoa, that's a surprising discovery, so I can't do that. So my plan was to go here. After they take, I was going to play h6. And once they moved back, I was going to go rook g8 and try to take the pawn, something like this. This is where they shocked me for the first time. Well, not the first time, but they shocked me here with a capture. Okay, I don't know why they traded, but whatever. Knight h7, going for the smothered checkmate, right? So here I found myself in this really bad situation. I said, okay, you know what? Let's take here. Why? Because if they take me, I've eliminated the defender. I can now take their knight, and it looks like I'm surviving. And if they go check, like in the game, I said to myself, I'm going king f7, and I defend my knight. Everything is good, right? Well, you can see the eval bar. Everything is not good. Everything is not good. They take, and here's the problem. This queen is going to find a way to come here, and I'm going to be checkmated very soon. I'm going to be checkmated very soon. At least that's what I thought. And my opponent thought the same thing, and they tried to, and they played queen e2. But queen e2 is a blunder. Do you know why? It's because I can take here. Now, here's what's really interesting about this position, guys. Queen e2 is a blunder, but queen d1 is the winning move. Why? Because now when I take check, you have bishop d2, you block it with a tempo, you defend your rook, and next move, guess what? It's coming over here, and I'm getting checkmated. Bishop's coming down, queen's coming in, king f7, queen h5. Here, look at this, queen e8. One example. There's other checkmates too. If I go here, queen h7 is checkmate. I'm done. I'm done, okay? That's all they had to do. But luckily for me, I finally caught a little bit of a break. They messed up. I captured. They played king f1. Now, pause the video. Should I take the rook on a1? Yes or no? This is the question that must be answered. Well, I hope you said no, because if I take it, and by the way, this is what I'll show you what I saw, and I'll show you what I missed. I did not take the rook in the game, and here's why. I thought to myself, if I take the rook, they're going to go check. I'm going to go to here, only move. They're going to go knight e8 check, amazing move. And this is what I thought. I said, okay, I have two moves. If I go to g8, they're going to go here and checkmate me. That's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go to h7. And I thought they were going to go, not there, sorry, that I could take it. So they can't go there. I thought they were going to go check and just repeat. I thought we were just going to get a repetition back and forth. So in my mind, I said to myself, if I take this rook, the game is a draw. Okay? What did I miss? I'll show you exactly what I missed. After king h7, queen g5. This is pinned, so they can't take me. They defend the bishop, and they're threatening now to go knight f6, which is checkmate. And the only thing I can do to survive is sacrifice my queen. Otherwise, I'm just getting mated. If I play some random move to try to defend, checkmate. If I try to stop it here with that, checkmate. There's all kinds of checkmates, okay? So I dodged the ball. I got a little bit lucky that I decided to not take the draw, even though it wasn't a draw, okay? So what did I do instead? Queen c4. I'm trading the queens. And at this point, I said to myself, okay, Nelson, you can relax. You can take a deep breath now. Queens are coming off the board. Your king is not going to get checkmated. Let me just tell you, this is actually where the intensity started to go up, even though the queens came off the board, which is why this game is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so here we go. They played bishop d2. I brought my knight out off the back. I'm trying to take some stuff. I knew that the queen wasn't going to go anywhere because it's pinned. Now I have to do it. They're forcing me to, so I trade the queens. And like I said, I'm relaxed. I'm feeling good. I'm like, my queens are off. My king is safe. Take a pawn. No big deal. Check. I'm doing great. Let's go here. I'm forking the pieces. I'm forcing a trade. I'm going into the endgame. I'm up a pawn. I'm going to win. Easy game at this point, right? Rook c7. I take the bishop. They go here, and they offer me a draw. They went here, and they offered me a draw. Now, at this point, I'm thinking a couple things in my mind. I'm thinking, number one, why did they not take my knight back? They're allowing me to move my knight away for free. That's the first thing. The second thing is I'm wondering, why are they offering me a draw? Is it because they're low on time and they just want to draw? Is it because they're trying to trick me psychologically? Is it because I'm about to somehow get checkmated if I take, if I move my knight away? Like what? Because I'm noticing there's knight f4, and I'm like, I don't have a lot of squares for my king. I have to run up, and there's like another rook, and there's some pawns and a king and another. I'm like, what's going on here, right? So I think for a while, and I came to the conclusion that I'm okay. Like, I don't think I'm getting checkmate. I think my king can run away. And I played the move knight c4. They go check. I go up. And they take here. And Stockfish says that I need to take the draw. I need to just go back. I need to let him just repeat moves and be happy with that. Why? Because what happened in the game was king g4. And they actually have checkmate on the board. It's one of the most disgusting checkmates that I think I have ever seen in my entire life. I invite you to pause. You know what's funny? The eval bar is actually missing it right now. The eval bar doesn't even see the checkmate. Earlier it was showing it. Now it's showing just an advantage of 8, which is ridiculous. There is a move here which leads to checkmate in 8 moves for white. If you would like to pause and try to find it, it's 8. I mean, it's 8 moves. It's a long one, but try to find it. Okay, if you had a chance to look at that, the move that white could have played, they didn't play this in the game, but we're going to look at what could have happened because it's absolutely ridiculous. And then we'll go back to the game, which was also ridiculous, but we'll get there, okay? The move is king to e2. King to e2. You say, what's the point of that? White's idea is that whatever I do, they're going to probably play f3, which is going to lead to a checkmate. Let me show you some examples. If I take this pawn, thinking like, why not just take a pawn, get rid of it? f3 check. Notice my king is running out of options. I can't go here and I can't go here, which means I can either sacrifice my knight or I can move my king forward. If I move forward, rook h3 check forces me to take the pawn. Then they go knight f4 check, which also defends the rook, forces me back. I can check like this. What just happened? Okay, wait a second. Let's go back. Instead, maybe I'll just sack my knight to avoid all that, right? Nope. They're going to take. I'm going to go here. And instead of rook h3, now they bring this rook all the way back. And they're going here. They're just going to checkmate me here. And I have no way to stop this. The king and the knight are stopping me from escaping here. They're just going to have both rooks on these files. And it's over. I could survive one extra move by going here. Then I'm done. This is just checkmate. What in the world, guys? And there's other ways that I could have gotten checkmated, by the way, too. Like after, instead of this, let's say I take this pawn. Oh, rook g7, checkmate, game over. Okay, let's try something else. What if I try to push this pawn forward? Nope, rook f7 cuts off my escape back here. And guess what? This is happening next move. I can't stop it. I guess I can try to stop it by going here, but no. This is also there is like so many different checkmates depending on what move I play. It doesn't even matter. If I play h5, look at this one. This one's cool. Rook takes c4, brilliant move. Why? Because now you go f3, king f1, and you're going rook h3, checkmate next move, and I can't stop it. Are you kidding me? What is this? What is this? I mean, I'm sure there's more. I haven't even showed you all of them. Like, this is just some examples. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so all of that was if my opponent played king e2, which they did not play. So let's go back to the game now that we've explored all that fancy stuff. So in the game, they played knight takes f8. Okay, and again, I kind of breathed a sigh of relief here because I'm like, okay, that knight was annoying. I knew there was some tricky stuff. The knight is gone. I am happy. I take the knight. I must be fine, right? Oh, it's checkmate again. It's checkmate again. This time it's mate in 7. Are you kidding me? What is going on? Let's take a look at this one. And by the way, this time they played the right move. Rook g7 check. Now at this point, I didn't know it was mate. And I thought to myself, no, I must be fine. And I actually calculated a few lines here where I thought my king was escaping. But they didn't check me. They played this amazing move, king d4, cutting off the escape squares. They want to just go here. This is just checkmate. Pause the video. How do I stop it? How do I stop it? The answer is knight takes e5 because I can block. And I said to myself, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going to block. They go here. I block. No worries. My king is safe, right? Wrong, because my opponent is a magician and plays rook h3. Are you kidding me? They're going to checkmate me a different way. The rook is coming to f3. How do I stop it? How do I stop it? I played knight e5. Only move. I have to stop it, right? Otherwise, I'm getting checkmated. Okay, wait for it. It's mate in 3. If you would like to pause, actually, you go ahead and pause. White can win the game in 3 moves. The winning move for white is rook to e3. You're cutting me off here. I'm cut off here. And white is going to push the pawn and checkmate me. That's it. G3, game over. Goodbye. See you later. G3. The only thing I could do is throw in a random check. They're going to move their king. And I can't stop it. I can't stop it. I have all these moves on the board. None of them stop this. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is unbelievable. Like, this is, if you can't appreciate this, just stop playing chess. Just stop right away. This is incredible stuff right here. Luckily for me, they played rook c3. They played rook c3 and not rook e3. However, it's the same idea. They want to play g3, and in the game, I have 29 seconds on the clock, and I realize what's going on. I'm like, oh no, g3 is coming. What can I do? What can I do? I'm stuck. The king is here. These rooks can't do anything. I can't stop. What do I do? 29 seconds. I thought for 15 seconds, and I realized I have one move. Knight to c6 check. I have to go knight to c6 check. Why? Because it forces either the king to move, and then I can start using my rooks to help somehow, or like in the game, they have to take it, but now there's no longer the checkmate because it opens up the f3 square. You see that? If g3 happens now, I can go here, right? So it's not checkmate, but I still have to be careful, right? Because if I play a move like h5, it's still mate. They just go back and it's mate, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to be careful. At this point, I have 14 seconds. My opponent has 12 seconds. It's a time scramble. I go here. They take a pawn. I go check. I got to get this king away from me before I get checkmated by the pawn again, right? That's what I'm afraid of. They go here, check. We trade. I take. They go here. It's time scramble, but I'm ahead. I blunder. It's a drawn position if they take here somehow, even though I'm not sure I totally understand that ending, but I won on time. The amount of checkmates that white had, even after the queen was off the board, unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. This position right here, where is it? When I played king g4 in the game, this position, king e2, this is incredible. This is amazing stuff. Like, this should be in a book. Seriously, this should be in some sort of insane puzzle book. King e2. I mean, I'm like, I hope you can appreciate like what just happened. Like, I wanted to just share it because wow. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think I've ever slipped away from so many checkmates in one game in my life. This one is going to go down in the history books. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.